Alright, so look, I'm a regular schmo. You know, I give every movie a chance, even if the critics don't like it. I want to go in with a fresh mind, and considering that I like slasher movies, I've been saying that I think one of the best movies of this year is an upcoming horror movie that is going to blow all of you guys away, and considering that I like The First Strangers, considering that it freaked me out so much I haven't opened my front door since 2008, this one had me excited. But sadly, it's just a stream it for me. Let me explain. So the first one, if you don't know, was based off of the Tate murders, which of course was a real life event, but this was actually a director who lived in a place that had a bunch of break-ins, and he was so curious about the idea of strangers going and killing random people for no reason whatsoever. This scene right here
Is Tamara home?
was actually based off of a night that he had where he lived in the middle of nowhere as a kid. Someone knocked on his door, his sister answered, and it ended up being a crew of people who were knocking on doors. If no one lived there, they would rob it. If someone did, they would ask for someone who clearly didn't live there. It's creepy stuff. Obviously, the people dying in these movies aren't real people. They're not actual events, so this ain't no pain and gain scenario. But the sequel kind of follows the same thing. Ain't real people, same killers, doesn't really have anything to do with the first, according to the director. In this one, you got a family of 4 who's about to go drop off their delinquent daughter in boarding school because she smokes cigarettes like a newbie and listens to the Ramones. This is actually a girl from Letters to God who, I guess at some point in her life, lost Jesus. Anyways, before they go get a refund on their child, they decide to have a little family vacation, which, you know you're poor when your getaway for the weekend is the trailer park from 8 Mile. Their aunt and uncle actually own the place, and I guess it's the off season, no one's there, so they get to pay a visit, but the strangers have already paid a visit to their aunt and uncle. They're like sliced up, they can't be talked, and then this family gets a knock at the door.
Is Tamara home?
Damn madmen. The brother and sister are actually the first to come across their aunt's and uncle's bodies, but since their parents took their phones away for quality time, they gotta rush back, run into the parents, and then decide to do the thing that every white family thinks is the okay thing to do in this scenario. Split up. Mother and daughter go back to the trailer, they find their phones cracked, which, one, this flip phone should have definitely been destroyed, and then they get a visit from Dollface, who's sporting her new Cutco brand knife, and these two decide to hide in the bathroom. Look, it's not like she has an AK or anything, right? So what I would do if I was in the situation is, well, actually, one, never be in the situation. But if I was, I would bum rush this girl, take one for the wash, Marshawn Lynch that hoe in the face, and then run away with the knife in me looking like a porcupine. I wouldn't box myself in the bathroom. Obviously, Dollface Jack Nicholson's her way into the door, the daughter escapes through the roof, and the mom just stands there like a mannequin, allowing herself to get Shawshanked. I mean, girl, punch her, slap her, tickle her, something. The dad and son are back in the uncle's house, and the dad finds a gun, and then he refuses to use it on the masked dude who's outside waiting for them, even though the dad can smell his mutilated aunt and uncle in the next room. Like, boy, I would have Sicario'd him.
Adios.
These two run away in the minivan, end up crashing it. These two are now orphans. They come across Dollface again, but like father, like son. He, for whatever reason, doesn't shoot her. But it's a thing that happens throughout the movie where we keep seeing this truck. Then this truck practically makes a sound like Tow Mater if he had lung cancer. You can hear this thing from like a mile away. But then all of a sudden, it don't make any noise and drives through this house like a Rick and Morty fan demanding soy sauce. Like, I'd like to add that I saw this screening in the south side of Chicago. And do you know how hard it is for black people and brown people to literally walk out of a free screening? Well, there's a scene when this girl gets baited by a Jack-in-the-Box toy. There's a scene where this girl traps herself into this tunnel and then Pinup Girl magically appears. At that point, half the theater just Houdini'd themselves out of there because they knew better. If there's one scene that I did think was dope, the one scene that I will give the movie credit for, right, that I liked, was this scene right here. It's when my dude finally has the balls to whack Pinup Girl. It's the scene where they get into like an old boy Street Fighter brawl. They shape of water it in the pool. This shot at the end I thought was pretty cool. And at the end they both somehow magically live. The sister saves the brother and then runs out to find a cop. He gets Walder Frayed because he ain't paying attention. And this girl, yet again, boxes herself in. I straight up jumped for joy when she finally has the guts to Elmer Fudd Dollface and demolishes her, all while Air Supply is playing in the background. Of course, I then remembered that sackcloth dude, the one who's dressed up like Dwight from The Office, still has his truck and decides to velociraptor her from the side. His car starts leaking gas, so of course Ramon's here, thinks fast, decides to blow him up. But then this dude becomes Ghost Rider in a pickup truck. My girl here clearly loves Prometheus, so she runs in a straight line. She can barely run, but then magically turns into Usain Bolt when another truck appears and jumps on the back. Dwight Sr. eventually gets whack-a-moled. The brother and sister make it out and into a hospital. And right when you think that things are all safe and sound, when everything is finally over... Really? It took y'all 10 years to make this one? And you're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger knowing good and damn well that thank you for watching this video. Look, obviously the movie wasn't for me. I liked the first. I didn't like this one. If you liked it, let me know what you liked about it down below. If you're still curious about that ending, it's pretty much what directors do when they want a sequel, but they know that they might not get it. I'll tell you this, if the strangers lived after everything they went through, they ain't strangers. They demons. But if there is a third one, if there is a third movie, I would love to see how Dwight Sr. over here checks in for a visitor's pass with that sackcloth over his head while politely knocking. It wouldn't make any sense to me. But other than that, let me know your thoughts on this movie, your thoughts on whatever else you want me to explain movie-wise, Netflix, TV shows, dramas, musicals, whatever it is, let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I won't ask if Tamara's home.